Merchandising, merchandising. Go to teespring.com and make sure you get you a good t-shirt. It's where the real money's made on YouTube, not on the AdSense or all the Patreons. We need you to go and buy a shirt. That way we're no longer poor.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. After, I don't even know how long.
It's been a long time for him to be here in this seat, but we've been posting videos, and Carla has filled in for a couple of videos. So
fine job, doing a fine job, by the way.
We're still moving along.
She does better than I do, so it's all right.
I mean, yes, that's definitely
That's very true. Yeah, that's all right.
She's probably the reason why we continue to grow.
That's very true. But you know what? What's growing right now, too, is the freaking views on this Venom trailer.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
keep it.
It's been going since, okay, so Venom came out in 2018, did about 800 million worldwide. You get a different part of the Spider-Man universe, the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So did very well. Yeah. What'd you think of, you thought Hardy was good?
Yeah, no, I thought he was good for, I mean, like.
That's better than Topher Grace?
I mean, I still wanted him as Wolverine, but that's over now. But, yeah, it's definitely better than Topher Grace. But I've now come into a realization that we're not going to get the whole Venom versus Spider-Man storyline that's just kind of like out the window. And I mean, how can you go back now?
We don't know yet.
He's lethal protector. He's a good guy at this point. And it's like you can't go back and make him a bad guy.
You did Godzilla.
I mean, was Godzilla a good guy? I mean, Godzilla was like the person stepping on ants. Do you really feel for the ant? No. Because they're not really.
But that's what I'm saying. Like first he's a protector, and then he's the antagonist. Like it all depends.
They can't do it.
Anyway, all right.
I've accepted that, and I've accepted Tom Hardy in this role. I've given him the fact that he's not going to be Wolverine, and I've given up the fact that I'm not going to get Spider-Man versus Venom.
Okay, so now you fast forward, and now we got Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Right.
First of all, I would have liked it or preferred that it would have just been called Let There Be Carnage.
Okay.
No Venom.
No Venom 2?
No Venom 2, no Venom, nothing.
That's just so people can understand, like, hey, this is the sequel to the first film. Right. And it's like, because people are stupid. So they have to do, like, hey, just like how they had to do all the name changes with Live, Die, Repeat, or what was that?
Edge of Tomorrow?
Because they had to make sure people understood. The same way they had to change the Bird of Prey from the Harley Quinn.
Oh, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey?
They had to change all of that stuff to make people understand what they're doing. So they have to do a sequel, and they have to do like the whole little subtitle, just so people understand, like, oh, it's the sequel to the first one that obviously I should understand because it's the same damn character. So I get why they do that, but
did you have to do that for Empire Strikes Back?
No, because we were smarter back then.
That's very true.
You guys are stupid now.
All right, so the trailer's out. What'd you think of the trailer?
I think the trailer was good for a first trailer. It wasn't anything that wowed me, because all of what they gave us in this first trailer are things that we were kind of used to from the first movie. We understood that, like, he goes to the shop to meet the people that he's protecting in his little neighborhood. We understand that Venom is a part of his daily life. And then seeing Woody Harrelson in the Carnage thing was probably the most shocking, seeing Woody Harrelson with his haircut was probably the most shocking thing from this trailer. Everything else is kind of what I expected to get out of this trailer.
Okay, so you see Eddie pretty much learning to live with Venom, and him making breakfast. It's in the morning.
Yeah, I hate
Venom's
that. I hate that they opened with that.
Okay,
they could open with anything else but that stupid scene.
So obviously he's learning to live with Venom, but you also look at it like, you know, this is the Odd Couple. This is Felix and Oscar.
Yeah, it is. They were doing a lot of Odd Couple things. Okay,
and when you have, you know, the potato,
I hated
call the whole thing off.
I hope they cut that from the movie.
It was funny, but when you look at how serious, you know, Venom is and how dangerous he is, and you started off with that, you kind of water him down a little bit. You know, kind of like what Raimi did at the end of Spider-Man 3 too, where he watered down Venom in that too.
Well, I mean, Topher Grace watered down.
Well, that's just with Raimi's direction. Okay, so it was okay. It was funny. It wasn't necessary. I could have had that in the movie. Not in the trailer.
My eyes would have rolled very hard in the movie theater to see that scene. I was like, I didn't need it. I was like, I would have rather they had done something more along the lines of where in the comics they deal with the fact that the symbiotes feed off of adrenaline, and they keep them up all night to be out doing things. I would have rather seen him like more like, and that might be trailer 2. Hey, let me stop some crimes. Let me attack this person or something. I would rather saw that. This whole, like you said, the Odd Couple thing. I was kind of like, ah.
Yeah. So you do see a little bit of that where he's going through kind of like a montage type of thing where he's gonna, more than likely it's gonna be a montage thing or it's gonna be a quick scene, but you see him potentially eating a criminal.
Yeah.
In the film.
I want to
see that.
I want to see more of that than the Odd Couple stuff.
So Woody does appear minus the hair, thank God.
Yeah.
And
it's so bad. It was comic accurate, but it was so bad.
And then you got him going through the lethal injection and something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And he's obviously becoming Carnage.
Right. Which they left some holes, and once again, maybe in future trailers they'll explain some more, because obviously Carnage was the spawn of Venom. So I like to see how they're going to reference that, because with Riot, they had multiple symbiotes, right? So that's how it's like, okay, you can explain Riot's here and Venom's here and so on and so forth. But if he's in jail already, how did the symbiote get to him? Especially since we didn't make this Eddie Brock a criminal. So in the original comics version, he's kind of a, like, not like, he's not out robbing people or anything like that, but because of the damage and stuff that he's caused, he's been imprisoned. And then at that point, Venom had a spawn, which became Carnage. There was a whole other storyline of spawns of Venom that became other different symbiotes, but just referring to Carnage, that's how Cletus Cassidy got the symbiote for Carnage. So if he's not in jail and he's a good guy at this point, how are they going to write that? So that's the only question it left
But
me
you
with.
see it in the trailer that he is visiting Ravencroft. So you
what did he show up for? Like he's going to do a comedy set there, or
no,
what?
it could be a story. It could be a story, an interview, a 2020 type of thing, a podcast.
Oh, he could be interviewing the
there's a lot.
There you go.
There
You explained it for me. He could be interviewing.
It could be a lot of different things, because obviously you hear the voiceover and Cletus is talking to Eddie. He's talking to him. Yeah. Saying that he missed him and all this other stuff.
So maybe he's doing the Halloween 2020 or
2018 podcast thing where they're talking. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they're doing
no. What was the one that just recently came out?
2018.
It was 2018?
Yeah.
That movie came out that long ago?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Right. So, God, I'm getting old. So where they were like, hey, we need to talk to you, and he's on a chain and blah blah. So it could be that. That's actually good. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously that interaction could have caused what happens in the lethal injection scene. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Obviously, him and Michelle Williams are not together. Him and Eddie Brock and
Destiny's Child.
Yeah. Not that Michelle Williams is okay, but they're obviously not together. So you saw some little bit of a animosity there, a little friction there between the two in that brief scene. So you get that, and then you got this Detective Mulligan that's in this, because he's looking at the paper and he's talking and it's showing about the victims of Cletus, and he's looking at it, and you see that bugle, and it's funny because I was listening to another show and they were talking about the similarities of the bugle design. The Daily Bugle design is the same design as the Daily Bugle in Raimi's.
Really?
In Raimi's trilogy, yeah.
So I'm wondering how they're gonna tie it together, because obviously they did J. Jonah Jameson in the whole little InfoWars type situation, but I guess it was the Daily Bugle, so it was the Daily Bugle. Yes. That was it. Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna tie this together.
So anyway, so you got the Mulligan in there, and in the comics, Detective Mulligan pretty much becomes Toxin. Okay. And Toxin is actually, he's stronger and more fierce than Carnage and
yes, they keep doing this whole thing with the symbiotes, because they like, okay, like you're stronger than Spider-Man, you're stronger than Venom, you're stronger than Carnage, and so on and so forth. And then when you get to like anti-Venom, then he's like this whole reverse colored white and black thing. It's like, so like they keep amping it up. Poor Spider-Man, he's still at the bottom of this totem pole.
So if Toxin's kind of being introduced a little bit, could we see freaking GVK rewind and have a Venom Carnage go against Toxin, and at the end of this movie, or Toxin and Venom going against Carnage to stop him?
So here's what I want.
We getting this team up?
No. So here's what I want. I want them to stop doing symbiotes. If we get a 3, I would like it to be another villain. Kind of like how in the in like the Flash TV show. Everybody's a speedster. Yeah, I was like, dude, all right, can you beat somebody who's not a speedster? Flash has like a good rogues gallery. There's Captain Cold and Boomerang and so on and so forth, right? So there's other people he could fight, but they keep making him fight a speedster because they're like, the only way we could put up a challenge is to make another speedster. So for Venom, they keep saying like, the only way we can put up a challenge is to give him another symbiote. Right?
Okay, but
so
what about...
I would prefer that they just figure out another villain that he could fight that was not a symbiote.
But I think that's an ongoing thing because you had in Iron Man, you had
it was
Tony
Warmonger,
Warmonger.
And that's why we complained about Iron Man 2,
and then
because it was just the same thing.
And then you had Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket.
I'm sorry. Warmonger was in the first one, and then Whiplash was in the second one. So they did something different for 2. They gave Whiplash for 2.
Did.
But even though he got a suit at the end.
But you got Yellow Jacket versus Ant-Man.
Was Ant-Man again, right?
Yeah, which was Ant-Man again, exactly. So you're seeing this again. So it's not anything new.
You know what they haven't done in Captain America? They didn't give us another Captain America.
Not till Winter Soldier. Not till freaking Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean,
anyway, okay, so you got this new character of Mulligan who can potentially be Toxin.
Okay.
Now you have Naomi Harris, who is, you get a quick glimpse as Shriek, who is actually Carnage's love interest in the whole, in Ravencroft. So when you see
Shriek was one of the spawns, though. Shriek was one of the spawns. Yeah.
So when you see the institution up in flames and you have these 2 shadowy figures coming out, obviously one of them is Carnage. Could she be the other one walking side by side? Could it be her?
I mean, I would not put that past them because they did She-Venom. When they did, when Michelle Williams like took the Venom and brought it to Eddie, so they did a brief She-Venom. So, and that was referencing when she showed up and then she kissed him and she transferred it to him. They were referencing her because in the comics she actually does become She-Venom for like a brief time before she dies.
Wow, maybe she does that in this one
So
too.
they might be doing something like that. So what I would really like to see, though, if we're gonna talk about like another symbiote or like, symbiotes being transferred to somebody, I would like to see maybe if they transfer them to Flash Thompson.
That would be awesome, but
do an Agent Venom. If you're gonna reference the Spider-Man universe, do an Agent Venom.
You just did U.S. Agent, why not?
Yeah, right. Do Agent Venom.
All right, so we both talk about the how we did not like Cletus's character design at the end of Venom.
It was bad. Like I said, comic accurate. Just the same way I feel about Falcon when he got his Captain America outfit. I was like, comic accurate. Hate the design.
So now you got him. Now you have Carnage. Do you like the character design of Carnage in this?
It is, but like the CGI is a little messy right now.
I thought so too.
It's a little messy right now, and it's early because this is their first trailer, so they're probably still trying to figure out a lot of the CGI elements and refining and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wait to trailer 2 and 3 to kind of see exactly. Cause what was it? Mortal Kombat. When I was watching Mortal Kombat, when they did the whole reptile scene, I hated the way Reptile looked.
That was dumb.
It was, well, I mean, we're not talking about the movie yet, but like in the trailer.
That was dumb.
In the trailer, he looked like hot garbage.
Hey, you know when he looked good? In '95. He looked amazing in that one.
When he was a bad Gex CGI little reptile.
That was Gecko's first job before he got the insurance gig. Anyways, go ahead.
But anyway, so in that trailer, he looked bad. And I was like, I don't really think I like what they're doing with Reptile. But then when I saw the movie, it was better. So I'm going to assume that they're going to refine what Carnage looks like going forward. Because they're doing a lot of the blood. So like they did the lethal injection and the blood comes out. And then that kind of shows where he becomes Carnage. Which is comic accurate because a lot of the whole the Carnage outfit is a lot of the blood spray and it becoming. They didn't show him making like weapons and tools from the symbiote costume, or from the symbiote. So
and that is one thing that he does.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I'm sure they're going to show us in another trailer. I feel like it's going to get better later on. I'm going to be hopeful that it's going to get better, but right now it was kind of like kind of less detailed as I wanted it to be.
Okay, so this was directed by Andy Serkis, the freaking king here.
Serious?
Oh yeah.
Did he do the first one?
No.
Who did the first one?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I can't remember. Sorry, I usually am good with names. But the reason why I bring that up is because obviously his role as far as motion capture is like, he's like one of the best. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
He's all
Kong,
like, you're
Gollum.
doing it wrong. Hold on, let me get it.
Yeah, he's Kong, he's Gollum, he's freaking, he's everything. So now, seeing him behind the camera and you're looking at everything that's going on in the trailer, How do you think that his impact is going to be on this story, on these characters?
Obviously, the motion capture is going to be like where we're going to be like, if we're going to rank everything that's going to be in this film, we're going to be like, oh, the motion capture was really great, right? It was like all the symbiotes move very fluid. They felt real. You felt like they were part of the universe itself. I don't know what he does for storytelling and like cinematography. Okay. I don't know. It's like because we haven't seen it.
Were there any good shots in the trailer that you saw that were like, you know, besides the shot of the city? I mean, that was nice. But
I mean that's stock footage.
Yeah. But character-wise, maybe the very end of the trailer when he's completely expanded and he's, you know, gunning at the screen.
The one where he's standing there when we were talking about the criminals and stuff like that, and he's holding a criminal above him.
And he's about to eat him.
Yeah, so that was interesting. But like I said, this was like, it's not a teaser. It was a full trailer, but it felt like a teaser because we didn't get a lot from it. We didn't get a lot of story elements outside of the fact that we knew who the villain was, but we knew who the villain was ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So. Okay. We'll see with trailer 2. I'll wait trailer 2, and then I'll stop at trailer 2 because I don't want to spoil too much.
And the last thing I was going to ask you was your thoughts on the tone of the movie, because you're going back and forth on this, where it's kind of like it looks like it's continuing where the first Venom, like left off as far as tone, but then you have all of these type of offbeat comedic elements in it that are just making it different than...
This movie's going to be PG-13.
Than the first one. I hope not, because they're talking rated R for it.
No, this movie's going to be... So the first one was rated R?
No.
It was not?
I don't think it was. No, I think it was PG-13.
I thought they did.
They wanted it to be rated R, but I think they
so this
they punked out and went on PG-13.
This movie's going to be PG-13, and we're going to see why it's going to be PG-13, because they're going to do a bunch of comedic elements to it, because they're going to expand the whole thing. We're saying like, oh, the odd couple. How they're living together, how he's dealing with the people that he's protecting, and then they're gonna do like they did before, where like some Deadpool type stuff, where like, hey, you might want to look away, where he turns the camera and Deadpool.
Yeah. And then he
it's like they're gonna do that type of stuff to kind of
break fourth wall like that.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna do that, but it's gonna be like and then the camera's gonna turn.
Okay, all right, I see that. Okay, all right. So that's our thoughts on Venom, on the Venom trailer. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Shout out to at Blu-ray Angel for actually having me on his conversation in regards to this topic. I'm sorry my signal sucked and I couldn't freaking get on, but being part of it and listening to you guys and our newest followers, Cody and Aragon, that followed us because of this, we really appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get to do it again one day.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so let's talk. It is now time for my favorite segment, and it's called Rapid Fire, Brandon Lee style.
And I've been drinking.
All right, we're putting Terrence on the hot seat. Let's go. Dave Bautista joins Knives Out 2. He's working with Rian Johnson. He's working with Daniel Craig. Is he a better actor than The Rock?
No. No, not yet. So here's the thing. It's like, I think, because The Rock wasn't good when he started, but I think he can get there. He's getting enough things going on to where he can improve. The Rock actually went to acting classes as he was doing these roles to get better. I'm not sure if Bautista's doing that, but he's getting a lot of roles so he can actually get better. Hogan sucked too at the very beginning of his acting career, right?
He did. What do you mean in the beginning, in the middle, and the end?
So I think he can get better. Just like we were talking about like John Cena, we talk about Austin.
Okay, so you got,
get better.
All right, so first of all,
right now, no.
Though I don't think The Rock hit his freaking, he didn't hit his like.
Scorpion King.
No, he didn't hit his spot until Gridiron Gang. I thought that's when he started.
Rundown was still rough, right?
But Gridiron Gang, he was freaking excellent.
Yeah. And see how many roles he had to go through before he got that.
Game, I think it was three or four.
Did he do Tooth Fairy before Gridiron Gang?
I think it was after. I think Tooth Fairy was after.
Okay.
But Gridiron Gang and then Pain and Gain, that was
like I said, when he decided that he was going to work on his craft. He went to acting lessons a lot during that time.
And I'm looking at Bautista, and obviously Drax, he's like phenomenal. He's the best.
It's like because his whole thing is to be dry.
Right. But as far as outside of that, this could potentially be the one. This could be his Gridiron.
Like I didn't like him in I would say Maze Runner and Blade Runner.
What about Spectre?
I didn't see Spectre.
Okay, well, I heard he was very good in Spectre.
Okay.
But I'm thinking that this.
I did see Spectre, and I just don't
James
remember
Bond,
Spectre. Yeah.
But I'm thinking that working with again Daniel Craig, because he's working with Daniel Craig again, and Ryan Johnson, I think that's going to probably help him get a little bit closer to that freaking Gridiron Gang, to that freaking painting gang. So we'll see.
This wasn't rapid.
All right, here we go. Sebastian Stan and Lily James had a photo of them as Pam and Tommy. They are playing Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. So Winter Soldier is playing Tommy Lee. He went from having a hard, stiff left arm to having a hard, stiff. All right. Anyway, so
that's hilarious. You know what? So what's the question?
The question is, will this be the role that breaks him away from the MCU?
Yes.
You think so? Really?
I think so.
Okay.
I think this is his Boogie Nights.
Well, it has to be.
This is Boogie Nights.
He's a star.
Look, by the way, look, them doing a story about Pamela Anderson by herself is an interesting movie to watch. But to add in the Tommy Lee Jones aspect of it,
Tommy Lee Jones? Tommy. He's a fugitive now? I know we said, it wasn't me, it was the one arm.
To add in Tommy Lee is an interesting thing, and to have Sebastian Stan play him, it's like, I think this is his Boogie.
I think that I mean, you got to see the picture because they look amazing.
Did he lose weight for it? Because Tommy Lee is very thin.
Well, he's also very fit. I mean, he's the drummer for Motley Crue,
yeah.
So you got to freaking look at it like, you got to look at him as
you're like saying like Sebastian Stan's not fit. It's like, but he's very thin and fit. He's that wiry fit.
No, wary. You say wary.
Wiry.
Wary. It's him as Tommy Lee.
I look, this is his Boogie Nights. This is his Boogie Nights.
This is going to be his Boogie Nights. All right. Next one. Spiral, the Book of Saw has just recently premiered.
The trailer that we didn't talk about.
Will this urban take on the film re-energize this franchise?
Yes, because it's a horror film, and we need reasons to have horror films, right? Because the pandemic kind of killed a bunch of horror films. So by itself, for it being like something that's already known, it's going to be something we're going to be like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're doing next with it.
But you add Chris Rock.
I'm thinking about Leprechaun in the Hood.
Not even a freaking close comparison. Are you serious?
You said urban take.
But the Saw franchise as a whole, compared to the Leprechaun franchise as a whole, there is no comparison. Saw takes it. Saw has arguably the best ending of all time in a film.
In the first one, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Not the other 7.
Potentially.
Not the other 5, right?
Potentially even the 5th one had an excellent ending. That is one thing that I give James Wan, is his endings for the Saw franchise are amazing. But part 1
it's always
top 5 of all time. But what I'm saying is that, and this is what I kind of admire about it, is that Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson are freaking A-listers. Samuel L. Jackson is an Oscar-nominated freaking actor. To have that type of talent in a horror film.
Yeah, no,
because horror,
the movie's gonna be good, but what's gonna happen is Spiral 2 is gonna be Leprechaun in the Hood. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Saw 1 was great.
Then Ice-T needs to be
Spiral 1 is gonna be great.
Ice-T needs to be the top.
Spiral 2 was not good. I mean, Saw 2 wasn't good.
No, it was not.
It wasn't good. Spiral 2 is gonna suck. It's gonna be Leprechaun in the Hood.
I hope not. I hope not.
And I can already feel that there's a time difference between Samuel Jackson scenes and Chris Rock.
But you got it.
I already know. Look, they're already telegraphing it.
But
by the way, this is rapid fire. Move on to the next one.
Okay. No, screw you. I gotta say this one thing. But you have to admit, when you have Jennifer Aniston, you have Leo DiCaprio, you have all these guys.
Are you going to defend Leprechaun?
No. But I'm saying that Kevin Bacon, you have these freaking, A-list actors now that started out in horror. To go in reverse and actually have them get implemented into the horror franchise now, this late into the franchise, that speaks volumes on what the substance of the franchise can bring.
And by the way, didn't Chris Rock buy the rights to this franchise?
Yes, he did, and that's why he did it. And that just says a lot. That just says a lot about horror. All right, moving on. Michael B. Jordan is preparing to direct Creed 3. Will this be the same without Rocky Balboa in it?
No, this is going to be Rocky 5. This is going to be Rocky 5. Okay, look. I feel Michael B. Jordan definitely can carry a film by himself. I just watched Without Remorse, and it was a good film. It was a really good film. We watched what he's done going forward. Look, I feel like he is and I don't want to say this to jinx him, but he could be the next Will Smith. Could be.
Okay, how? How do you figure that?
Because like I feel like if he starts,
how about him as Denzel maybe?
I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that like.
He's not comedic. Will Smith is.
I feel like Denzel has a lot of range. I feel like.
And you don't think Michael B. Jordan does?
No, I feel like
damn.
he has. I feel like he has the range that Will Smith has. I feel like you can do drama, and I feel like you can do really well.
But he can't do comedy.
He do well in action though.
You can do well in action. Okay, I get that.
He can do well in action. I feel like he could be the second coming of Will Smith.
So why not?
And I feel like in directing, like I'm not seeing. So here's the thing. Direct something smaller for your first thing, so that way you kind of get your feet wet. There's no pressure. When you direct a big thing, there's so much fucking pressure on you. And it was like, do something small first, then it was like, okay, I understand what needs to be done, all these things, all these moving parts, as opposed to like, hey, it's my first directing gig. Here's my big budget.
But what the challenge with this is that, you know, Creed is established because of Rocky. Yeah. Without Rocky,
yeah, and it's like it's gonna be a missing part.
Yeah,
this is gonna be
it's
like
not gonna be the
how
same.
I mean, I could say it could be what Rocky was without Mickey, but Rocky went on and did big things without Mickey, right?
Yeah, but he didn't have a Mickey 2. Mickey and then Mickey 2,
like
Mickey 3.
2.
Yeah, no. All right, let's go.
Oh my God, the prequel, Mickey.
Mickey.
Oh my God, can they do that? Can somebody write that?
Who would be Ben? Freaking. I got Edward Norton as young Mickey.
As young Mickey.
Young Mickey. Edward Norton. Why not? All right, let's go. Mickey Rourke.
Let's go ahead. Mickey Rourke as young Mickey.
Mickey Rourke as young Mickey. Mickey Rourke said that, okay, during quarantine, he was watching a lot of CSI and all that, CVU or whatever the hell that is.
I mean, like, a lot of people were.
Not CSI. What's it called? The one with Mariska Hargitay and Law and Order and all that stuff.
Sure, okay.
See, SVU. There you go.
There you go.
He's watching a lot of SVU and all that during quarantine. And he says that basically he was praising the acting chops, not like Marvel. Marvel movies are crap.
Except he was in one.
Now, most of this, might be bitter because most of his scenes in Iron Man 2 were cut out.
Okay.
Is he salty or does he have a point?
He's salty. So, just like everybody else who keeps talking about like comic book movies are like the death of Hollywood. Look, Westerns were the death of Hollywood. A bunch of action films were the death of Hollywood. Fiction. Martial arts were the death of Hollywood. It was like, look, dude, like there's gonna be like a popular thing that's going to come along and people are going to make a lot of movies about it. If that's not your thing, you don't make a movie about it and you just move on. You don't have to sit there and bash it. Just say that I'm not that particular actor that likes to do those particular type of movies. That's not my thing. You move on. By the way, Mickey Rourke was in a Marvel movie. He was not in a good one, but he was in a Marvel movie.
And it's potential that he's the reason why it wasn't good.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people would say that. So it seems biased for him to kind of take a jab at Marvel.
So he's saltier than mermaid pussy.
That's a great way to put it.
I heard that someplace. Thought that was funny. All right, here we go. Last one. Brie Larson is rumored to leave the MCU for Star Wars. Where would she fit better, Star Wars or Marvel?
I mean, we've only seen her as Captain Marvel. We only seen her in one film, so I really don't know at this point. Or like 1.5 films.
Given her background in acting and being an Oscar winner and all that, those type of acting abilities and
are they going to make her the older Rey?
No, but she could potentially be a Jedi.
I mean,
so her as a Jedi or her as Captain Marvel, what would you go with?
I mean, I would rather them continue on with Rey than to give me another Jedi. So I would say better in the MCU, do more things with Captain Marvel's got a lot of things they could really branch off into, but if you give me another character, another like Mary Sue Jedi thing, I know, write it in the comments. So if you give me another overpowered Jedi, I'm not gonna connect with it. The reason why we love Luke is we went on his journey, right? The reason why a lot of people have a problem with Rey is because she started off all powerful. That's the difference. So if you give me somebody else that I'm not gonna go along with the journey with, then I'm gonna be like,
give me Broom Boy.
Yeah, so give me Broom Boy, right? So I'm gonna be and they can't start over again when all people are gonna say is like, well, what about Rey? What about Rey? So it'd be better if they just keep her as Captain Marvel. Now, if you want to just include her within Star Wars, that's fine. Just don't make her a Jedi.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I mean, Disney likes to keep everybody within house. Everybody has a job somewhere, so.
I'm still saying that. Even though they should
have had Sebastian Stan be Luke instead of doing a CGI.
I'm still saying 5 years from now, Daisy Ridley will be back as Rey.
That's what I said. Just hang on. Just do some offshoot stuff. You don't have to do Jedi. Look, we just got Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So leave your comments comment below and let us know what you think of all of the rapid fire questions, and if you can think of any rapid fire questions
slow fire questions
to put him on the freaking hot seat, put it down below. Terrence, take us home.
All right. It's been a while since I've said this, but not for you guys. But for me, it's been a while before I said it, so if I mess it up, whatever.
With me next time.
Yeah, there you go. Benny's wearing one of our new shirts. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. He's wearing one of our new shirts, the Goods Podcast shirt. Please go ahead and get one. You can go to teespring.com. The link will be there somewhere. And make sure you pick up some of our merch because it helps us put money in our pockets. Also, as well, to put money in our pockets, go to our Patreon. That way you'll be able to see kind of a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that we do here that we don't actually post on YouTube. We post it there. Just donate anywhere from like $1 on up, and you'll have access to it. But it also will help us maybe get better, something like that. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other things that we do on the channel.
Absolutely. Hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram. Hit him up on Facebook.
I mean, send a message.
Maybe he'll find it. Who knows?
You know, if I feel like it's a good day for me to respond, I might.
For Aspen, Art, and Carla, where the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was the Goods.
Real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. Give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take $1. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they don't have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com/thegoods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it.